This is a week 6 lecture in the foundation degree in building services and renewable energy and the module building services design and retrofit for domestic. In this lesson we want to have a look at septic tanks, soakways and cesspits as part of the below ground drainage requirements for a house or for domestic applications. What is a septic tank? Well, a septic tank is a tank that treats domestic sewage, and that can be waste coming from the outlets from baths and basins, from toilets, WCs, from showers and sinks, and other sanitary and or domestic appliances within the house. In a septic tank, the solids in the sewage settle to the bottom of the tank to form a sludge, and then a liquid forms at the top, which is a relatively clear liquid which forms a layer of scum on the surface of the septic tank. Bacteria feed on the liquid and digest also some of the material in the liquid. So it's a type of anaerobic digestion. The liquid at the top of the tank then either passes into another settlement tank, where it then passes into the watercourse or is discharged underground through a network of pipes to filter through the soil in what's known as a soakway system. And we'll have a little look at what a soakway system is in a few of the following slides. The solids that build up at the bottom of the septic tank need to be removed, and typically these are removed about once per year. So the septic tank was, let's say, discovered in the 1800s by a Frenchman called Moras, and he built and patented a masonry septic tank for his home in France. After about a dozen years, when the tank was opened, it was found, contrary to all expectations, to be almost free from solids. And basically that was the sort of the invention or the discovery of the first septic tank. In a septic tank, the sewage is allowed to rest for about 16 to 48 hours, and basically it's digested. The process of digestion in the septic tank is done by bacteria, so an anaerobic type of digestion. So in the septic tank, you also need to take care then that the bacteria that do undertake the digestion can also be killed by certain chemicals. And the process of breaking down the organic matter in the sewage is what I've already said is called anaerobic digestion, since it largely occurs outside the presence of air, and that air is not required. Typical septic tank designs, you can see some on the right here. This would be your traditional type of septic tank design. And the digestion process reduces the amount of sludge and makes the content of the tanks less smelly. So that's the bacterial, the process that the bacteria contribute to. Normally it takes about 2 months to break down, so avoid all the sludge in the tank. So normally septic tanks only partially break down the contents of the sewage. And then, as I said, because of the bacteria within the septic tank, too much bleach, detergents or other household chemicals can destroy the useful bacteria. So in houses where they do use a septic tank, if possible, it's always recommended to use what are known as septic safe detergents, so that they don't kill off the bacteria within the septic tank, as the wrong chemicals result in the sewage not being fully treated fully, and may cause pollution problems and also smell problems. And emptying the septic tank regularly also ensures that the septic tank is kept working properly. And in general, the septic tank on a domestic application needs to be cleaned out or emptied once per year. The effluent, the fluid from the septic tank, the concept of the septic tank is that the effluent from the building should enter the tank at one end. It's retained in the septic tank for a period of time, and then the clear fluid is discharged at the opposite end to enter a soakway or a drain, the soakway drain. So the septic tank soon fills, and as more effluent enters, it automatically displaces the clear liquid out into the soakway. And a soakway drain is shown here in the bottom right hand picture, where it's basically just a network of pipes with holes in the pipes, and that will discharge the clear fluid, the clear effluent fluid, into the ground at the rear of the property. Inside the tank, a layer of scum is generated, and this layer of scum is called flotsam, and anything that's solid then sinks to the bottom and forms what's known as the sludge solids in the septic tank. And in between there's a fairly clear liquid layer, and this clear liquid will overflow as new sewage comes in from the house. So as new sewage comes in, fills the septic tank, the clear liquid fluid falls out into your soakaway drain. The process of anaerobic decomposition occurs in the tank, and that reduces the amount of solid matter that builds up and also provides some treatment of the waste. So anaerobic digestion treats the waste. The soakaway drain, or the percolation trench as it's sometimes called, is how the fluid that comes out of your septic tank on the right hand side here, it's how it's discharged and how it's dispersed into the surrounding soil at the outlet side of your septic tank. The effluent from the septic tank is not fit for discharge into a watercourse, so particular precautions need to be undertaken if you're near rivers, lakes, or you're close to the water table. The effluent should only be discharged into a soakaway where it won't reach any watercourses. Some solids such as soap, scum or fat will float to the top of the layer and form a scum layer, and heavier solids such as human and kitchen wastes sink to the bottom of the tank, such as and form a sludge at the bottom of the cylinder or the bottom of the septic tank. Septic tanks can be constructed. You can also construct them from block or bricks, and they can also be made from glass reinforced plastic. So they can be made from many different materials. Access covers on the septic tanks need to be durable quality, and they need also to be able to resist corrosion. They must be secured also to prevent easy removal, as you don't want any person in the vicinity falling into the septic tank. The septic tank should be designed as well to prevent leakage of the contents and ingress of subsoil water, and they also need to be ventilated. And in cases where the ventilation is installed, the ventilation needs to be kept away from the buildings. So they do need to be ventilated, and you need to ensure that the ventilation is kept away from the buildings, as you don't want the smell entering the buildings from the septic tank.